Alright, so I'm going to start from the turbo and just work my way up building this system. So I'm going to need to disconnect all these vacuum lines. You'll have more than this if you're doing this at home. I've deleted a few already just for simplicity's sake, but I'm going to get this all disconnected and then we will start fitting in the new pipe, which is actually really, it's pretty cool. My youngest is watching me work, so you're going to hear him in the background. You see that red thing over there that's sitting on top of the car, the big red thing?
Oh, this is!
That. Look, this one, sitting up there.
Okay.
That. Bring it over here, right here, for this table. Set it up there. So I'm going to transfer this plug over, hopefully it fits, and then both my clamps as well. Alright, so this is an expanding plug that I used to plug this hole. I don't know, that looks way too big for that, so we'll see if I can come up with a solution. So I got the bolts in there. It's not moving. I mean, that thing is, I don't know if I'll ever get it out. That's all right. Now I got to figure out a way to plug this one. This plug that I've got, it's just a little bit too big. All right, so I ran this on my belt sander. I just let it spin on the belt sander to take some of this off. All right, so my plug's in. You can see it's expanded inside of there, so that's not going anywhere. So those two are completely plugged in good. Now I've got to get these clamps. This one was a one-use clamp, so I've got to see if I've got a screw clamp that'll fit that, and then this one will just go right on there. Alright, I found two hose clamps that'll work, so we're going to go install this thing and keep moving. To give you an idea of how small these KO3s are, this is a turbo from a stock MR2. This is the one that came off my car, and it's considered a small turbo. Look at it next to the KO3. That's the KO3 in there. It's real dirty, but you can see it. I mean, that is a tiny, tiny turbo. I feel like a GT28 on this thing, or maybe even a GT30 would just be insane. So this is your mass airflow sensor inside of here. So I picked up an AEM filter. It's a dry filter, which is important for this car, and evidently it'll make your car spit flames if you put it on. So we'll see if that's true. This is the kit. The humidity kind of killed it. This has not been rained on. This is just from the humidity in the air. It'll ruin boxes. I got this setup idea from one of you guys via Instagram. The thing I did that ruined my first mass airflow sensor was I used an oiled filter. Well, the oil gets onto the sensor, and these sensors are really picky, and it'll ruin them, like totally ruin them. Give you codes, make your car run bad. It's all kinds of bad stuff. So this filter eliminates that problem by being dry. So I got this one. It's on an angle because I'm going to point it away from the motor. I'm going to go run this over to the car and see how well it's going to fit. I'm just kind of test fitting all this stuff right now. This filter, yeah, that fits perfectly on there. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. I think that looks pretty good. Now you'll notice this is wide open, so that's not good because that's going to kick water and all kinds of stuff up into this filter. I have a plan to fix that. We'll get to that in a minute. But so far I think that's going to work. And I'm going to try to tie this in to the stock mounting point so it's not just resting on that hose, it'll actually be held in place. I'm gonna figure out this mounting issue next. Hey, buddy. Ah! So I found an old sign that had an aluminum stake at the bottom of it, so I whipped up a quick bracket out of that. Now this thing doesn't just hang, it's actually mounted. It does have some movement, which I think is probably good, but it's not touching anything, it's floating, so that's good. I've got these all connected, but what I'm going to do now is, I've got this mounted, I know how this is going to be. I'm going to pull all of it off and build in some sort of like heat shielding underneath and around it. It's also going to serve as a water shield from underneath here since I don't have my fender liner. Heat reflective tape. Yeah, I like it. I like gold stuff. All right, let's put this on.